Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to crack open ancient wisdom and see how it shines a light on, well, on right now. Today, we're journeying into Psalm 85. It's a really powerful communal prayer traditionally linked to the sons of Korah, the temple musicians. Our mission is to uncover its core message and see how relevant it is for your life today. How does this mix of gratitude, lament, and hope actually strengthen your trust, your relationship with God? Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is this psalm isn't some dusty historical document. It feels more like a blueprint,
Yeah.
for spiritual renewal. It really resonates. We'll trace its journey. It starts remembering God's faithfulness, then shifts to this plea for mercy, then waiting for peace, and finally this amazing vision of harmony. It's such a rich source for understanding restoration, our connection with God. It offers a path to deeper trust, I think.
Okay, so let's start this deep dive right at the beginning, verses 1 to 3. The first thing you notice isn't despair, it's gratitude. Like deep gratitude. The community is looking back, remembering God's favor specifically brought back the captivity of Jacob. That's a big one.
That's the return from exile,
Yeah.
right? A huge act of restoration.
Exactly. And they remember God forgiving their iniquity, covering their sin, turning away his anger. It's this powerful recall of God's mercy, his that steadfast love and what he's already done.
And that remembering, it's not just looking back fondly, it's strategic almost. Remembering God's past actions, it builds a foundation. It strengthens trust, especially when you're facing present trials. It's about building hope on solid history.
Right. It anchors you. So from that foundation of gratitude, the mood shifts. Verses 4 to 7, it becomes this really heartfelt plea. You hear this urgency. Turn us, O God of our salvation. Cause thine anger toward us to cease. There's this real longing for God to revive us again.
Will thou not revive us again?
Yeah.
That question hangs there.
It really does. And it's striking, that pivot from, here's what you did, to, please do something now. Why is that shift so important? Is it easy?
That's a great question. It points to vulnerability, acknowledging need. It's an appeal to God's steadfast love, hazed again. But it's also this act of humility. You have to admit you need help, that you're dependent. That comes before restoration.
And that word turn, shav in Hebrew.
Yes, it has that double meaning, doesn't it? Turning back to God, but also asking God to turn us. It implies both divine action and our response, our repentance. It's not blame, it's acknowledging the distance.
Okay, so then here's where it gets really interesting. Verses 8 and 9. The psalmist shifts again into expectant listening, a clear declaration. I will hear what God the Lord will speak, for he will speak peace. But then there's that condition, isn't there? But let them not turn again to folly.
Peace is linked to obedience.
What exactly is folly here? Is it just making a mistake?
No, not just a simple error. In the wisdom tradition, folly is more like a deliberate turning away from God's path. It's choosing self-interest over divine wisdom, spiritual rebellion, really.
So the peace God offers isn't unconditional.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is God's peace is linked to obedience. You have to actively listen for his word and consciously reject that folly to experience lasting peace. And there's also the assurance that his salvation, his help, is near for those who fear him, so his glory can dwell in the land. Presence is tied to response.
Which leads us to the end, verses 10 to 13. And it's just, wow, this poetic vision of harmony, the imagery, mercy and truth are met together. Righteousness and peace have kissed each other. Beautiful.
It really is. And truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven.
And the promise. The Lord shall give that which is good, and our land shall yield her increase. Righteousness leads the way. This idea of mercy, truth, righteousness, peace all coming together, kissing. Why is that so radical?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, think about our world. We often see these as being in tension, right? Justice versus mercy, truth versus peace. But the psalm says, no, under God's reign, they're in perfect harmony. They work together. Justice, mercy, truth, peace. They aren't in conflict. It's a holistic picture of blessing that flows directly from God. Prosperity, increase, isn't just about hard work. It's tied to God's goodness and righteousness paving the way. It's a whole divine ecosystem.
Okay, so let's bring this home. What does this all mean for you, listening right now, living in this, well, often chaotic world? How does this ancient psalm deepen our trust, our relationship with God? Let's start with personal renewal. When you feel spiritually stuck, stagnant, Psalm 85 is a reminder. God has restored before. He can do it again.
Absolutely.
Remembering those past victories, actually bringing them to mind, it builds resilience. It strengthens faith for whatever you're facing now.
And this raises an important question. How do we get that renewal? For us as individuals,
Hmm.
but also, for communities fractured by injustice or division, the psalm is clear. Lasting peace needs both truth and mercy, righteousness and
They
compassion.
have to meet.
Yes, that call to revive us again is timeless. It points straight to repentance, that genuine turning is the doorway. It might mean facing hard truths about ourselves or seeking reconciliation in broken relationships. Healing starts with truth and grace, and that clears the path for a stronger connection with God.
And that community aspect is huge, that imagery of mercy and truth meeting, righteousness and peace kissing. It's a blueprint for healing, isn't it?
It really is. For healthy relationships, healthy societies, moving from brokenness to hope, our collective trust grows as we work towards that ideal.
It makes you think about patience, too.
Definitely. What's fascinating here is, in a world obsessed with quick fixes, that image of righteousness and peace kissing suggests God is patiently weaving things together. Justice, love, truth. Even when we can't see the full picture yet.
We have to trust the process.
Exactly. Trust his timing. It teaches us that real transformation takes time, like growing a tree, that deepens our trust in a God who works deliberately, not just instantly.
So ultimately, this deep dive circles back to the core, our relationship with God. Remembering his faithfulness, actively seeking renewal through genuine repentance, trusting his big picture vision, all of it directly deepens our trust and our intimacy with him. It shows that true blessing, true flourishing flows from him, tied to his goodness, his righteousness leading the way, not just our own efforts.
Right. The psalm invites us to actively engage, listen for his peace, turn from folly, embrace the holistic way he works. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, understanding these intertwined virtues, mercy, truth, righteousness, peace, helps us see God's character more clearly. That fosters a deeper, more resilient trust, a stronger relationship built on his promises and our active response.
It's a powerful blend we've seen in Psalm 85. Gratitude, repentance, hope. A reminder that true peace, true renewal comes when we align with God's character, where all those virtues are in active harmony.
So, as you reflect on this ancient prayer for mercy and restoration, here's something to consider. How will you apply this information in your life, seeking renewal and deeper trust in your relationship with God?